It was going, state by state. The fact that we put a national...
Rob Reiner was a man who spent his life telling stories about love, family, and human connection, yet his own final chapter ended in a way that stunned Hollywood and left the public searching for answers. On the afternoon of Sunday, December 14th, Rob Reiner and his wife of 36 years, Michelle Singer Reiner, were found brutally murdered inside their Brentwood, Los Angeles home. The violence alone was horrifying, but what shook people even more was who police say is responsible: their own son, Nick Reiner. And in the days since, one detail has refused to fade: a chilling confession Rob reportedly made just 9 days before his death. In the week leading up to the killings, nothing outwardly suggested an imminent tragedy. Rob and Michelle were still socializing, attending events, and making plans. They dined with friends, including Maria Shriver, and attended Conan O'Brien's annual holiday party, a familiar gathering among Hollywood's inner circle. But that night, something felt different. Rob and Michelle brought their son Nick with them, even though he was not invited because they were uneasy about leaving him alone. Guests later described Nick's behavior as erratic and unsettling. He stood out, not just for how he dressed, but for the way he stared at people, questioned them, and clashed with his father. Behind the scenes, Rob and Michelle were deeply worried, trying to balance love, fear, and responsibility as parents. The next day, plans were in place. Massage therapists were expected at the house, and Rob and Michelle were scheduled to have dinner with Barack and Michelle Obama. None of that happened. When the therapist could not get a response at the gate, the couple's daughter Romy was contacted. She arrived at the house, and soon after, police were called. By early evening, the home was surrounded by yellow tape. Rob Reiner was 78. Michelle Singer Reiner was 70. Both had suffered multiple stab wounds. Their deaths were ruled homicides caused by sharp force injuries. Within hours, attention turned to Nick Reiner. Surveillance footage showed him moving calmly through Los Angeles that day, stopping at a hotel and later at a market where he bought a drink. That night, he was arrested and later charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Authorities have not yet disclosed a motive, but what has haunted many is what Rob reportedly told friends at the holiday party. According to multiple accounts, he admitted he was terrified of his son and feared that Nick could hurt him. At the time, it sounded like a parent overwhelmed by stress. After the murders, those words took on a devastating weight. To understand why this case resonates so deeply, you have to look at the long road that came before it. Nick Reiner had struggled with addiction and mental health issues for years, enduring repeated stints in rehab and periods of instability. Rob and Michelle never stopped trying to help him. In fact, years earlier, they had laid their struggles bare through the film Being Charlie, a deeply personal project that mirrored their real-life conflicts as parents trying to save a child who was spiraling. Even then, the story offered no clean resolution, only the painful truth that love and effort do not always lead to healing. Friends and those who knew the family have described Rob and Michelle as devoted parents who lived for their children. Michelle was often described as the anchor of the family, while Rob carried the quiet burden of fear that many parents of troubled children recognize. Their deaths have not only shaken Hollywood, but also forced countless families to confront uncomfortable questions about addiction, mental illness, and the limits of control. As the legal process unfolds, Nick Reiner remains in custody, awaiting further court proceedings and possible psychiatric evaluations. The answers may take time, and some may never fully come. What remains is a story far more complex than a headline. A story about a family, a lifetime of love, and a warning that, in this case, may have been hiding in plain sight. If you want more deep dives into the stories behind Hollywood's biggest headlines, share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin. Then press the bell icon so you never miss what we uncover next.